Hello, welcome to the Colts Complex as the Indianapolis Colts get ready for a Week 3 matchup against the Tennessee Titans. Its first road game of the young season. Again, 2-0 for the first time since 2009. Vibes are high here on West 56th Street, and why wouldn't they be? Especially when you're looking at this Colts offense, not having punted in 2 games. That is a crazy statistic, but it is true. Now, did go for it on 4th down twice against the Broncos, did not convert on those opportunities, and did have the punting unit out at least once during that Dolphins game, albeit penalty kept that drive going. But be that as it may, really impressive what this Colts offense has been able to do, primarily spreading the ball to the different playmakers. Daniel Jones facilitating to those different playmakers. Alec Pierce getting involved. Josh Downs getting involved. Michael Pittman Jr. getting involved. Tyler Warren a focal point of this offense. And what's been pleasing, to me at least, is Jonathan Taylor getting involved out of the backfield in the pass game, as well as rushing for 165 yards against the Denver Broncos. Again, can't say enough good things about this offense. It's a camaraderie thing, Shane Steichen has been saying. Daniel Jones echoing those sentiments today. You'll hear in just a bit. It's been impressive to watch what this offense has been able to do, and Daniel Jones is in command, it feels like, comfortable back there. This offensive line certainly exceeding expectations with the departures, of Ryan Kelly and Will Fries in the offseason. There was a question mark, especially on the interior, center and guard positions there. And in the joint practice before the season with the Green Bay Packers, it wasn't pretty. We had a lot of question marks, but those questions, at least for 2 weeks, have been answered when it comes to the offensive line. And this Colts offense at large, again, it's been impressive. Haven't punted the ball. The only thing you can maybe point to and say needs to improve is that red zone efficiency. Settled for, before the game winning 45-yard field goal. 4 field goals inside. There were trips inside the red zone that you're settling for 3 rather than 7. So Shane Steichen said, look, that was a focal point in the meeting. We're going to get that taken care of. And just got to convert on those opportunities inside the red zone. So that's something you got to keep an eye on. Shane Steichen said has a lot of respect for the Titans defensive coordinator and what they're doing. They are 0-2, but they're a building, trending upward franchise when you're looking at Cam Ward at the quarterback position as well. But we'll focus on offense here. Had a chance to hear from Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones, and Tyler Warren here on Wednesday ahead of Week 3, Colts and Titans in Nashville.
Shout out to the Fever for getting the dub last night. Thought that was pretty cool. Coach White and the team playing hard. Always exciting Indiana sports right now. So with that being said, excited for this week. Got to have a great week of preparation going into this thing. This is a tough opponent. They're physical. Obviously first road test, division game, but we're excited for the challenge. Injury updates. Mooney's still in the protocol, but he will practice today. And then Latu, we'll see how the week goes. We'll work him out today and see how it goes.
You said Ward will practice today?
He will, yeah.
What did you see from the Titans watching them this week?
A lot of different things. I got a lot of respect for Denard Wilson, their D coordinator. Had a chance to be with him in Philly. Aggressive style, attacking defense, multiple looks. Got a good front. Starts up front with 98 Simmons. He's one of the best in the league, so got to control him as much as possible. Snead's a hell of a player on defense as well. So I think they do a lot of good things defensively. I think offensively they can run the ball really well. I think Pollard's an explosive back. I think the quarterback's very talented. He can move around, make plays off platform, so we got to have great rush lanes come Sunday against them because he's made a ton of plays a little bit with his legs already. He made a 3rd and goal at the 9 against the Rams, running around, boom, and threw it back across his body, which was a hell of a play. So we got to do a good job containing him. Ridley's a hell of a receiver as well. So they got some weapons over there, so we got to be on our details this week.
Shane, in what ways does having been a college quarterback inform the way you deal with your quarterbacks? How does it influence the way you deal with quarterbacks?
Say that one more time.
Having been a college quarterback.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that part, yeah. I think playing the position obviously helps, seeing it in that light. So I think that's a big part of it too, playing the position. So when you have those conversations with quarterbacks, you know what I mean? You can have those conversations, those in-depth conversations about certain looks because sometimes there might be looks where it's like, hey, what were you thinking on that? And obviously, you get the response from the quarterback and you can, see it the same way sometimes because there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Shane, you guys have been really good on first down. What do you think of
I think we're just executing. I think it's the guys up front. I think it's the quarterback. I think it's the receivers. I think it's the back. I think that's all part of it. Them doing their jobs.
Do you balance like staying ahead of the chains versus, hey, this is an opportunity to create a big play with?
Yeah, I think it's a feel. I think it's a little bit of both. I think obviously you want to be ahead of the chains for sure. You don't want to get yourself in second and long situations. So being efficient on first down is a big part of it. Whether that's running it or throwing it or whatever you're doing to get that done and just executing at a high level.
Do you feel like your
first bowl game, what is the message to the team and how are you guys embracing this?
I kind of hit you guys with it a little bit after the game. My message is discipline, trusting the process every week, every day, every meeting. Obviously, division games on the road are always tough, and we got to stay locked in and focused on all the details, the walkthroughs, the meetings, and go execute at a high level.
Feels like your wide receivers and throw Tyler in that group are very diverse, like in their skill sets. Is that true? Do you agree? And how does that help you?
Yeah, I think it's very true. I think we got 5 guys that are all capable of making plays for us, and so it's good as a coach. When you're going through the game plans, myself, Jim Bob, the offensive staff, going through it. Finding different ways to get these guys all involved. That's all part of the process that we go through every week. You've heard me say this a whole bunch. There's one football, we got 5 guys, and who knows whose week it's going to be. But again, we want to get everybody involved, and they all got their skill sets.
And quick follow-up with Tyler. I mean, you've used him. He's helped hurt the defense at every level so far. I mean, is that kind of rare for a tight end?
Well, I think he has the skill set to do it, and so we got to continue that. But like I said, he's just a hell of a football player, natural feel for the game, toughness, gritty. You can put him in different positions, different spots, try to get these matchups that you want with him, along with all the rest of the guys. So, like I said, we got to continue that, but he's playing good football.
Is he going to bring the fullback position back?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we've handed it off to him twice, so we'll see.
And you got the sail route, too.
Yeah, the little insert deal, that was pretty cool. I like that one.
What do you see? He's not a high volume guy, but he's making the most of these opportunities. How have you seen him grow so far through this couple weeks?
I think obviously going into, year after year, just his habits, off season, the way he's been working, his consistency, obviously been winning one-on-one on the outside the first 2 weeks. Hell of a route runner, but he continues to develop in all areas and all aspects. He's an in-here early morning guy, grinds away, always on the jugs machine, practicing the right way. I really like where he's at right now.
Can Bynum, 2 picks in 2 weeks. Obviously, we see those big plays, but what have you seen from him from a preparation standpoint that allows him to make those type of plays on Sunday?
He's always working. He's a guy that's in here grinding. Even after practice last week, we were in the offensive staff room watching the practice film, and I look out and there's one guy out there working on back pedals by himself, just going through and just having vision like, hey, boom, here I'm getting a pick, just acting like a football's out there and going through his operation. And I think that stuff's huge. I think a lot of it is a mindset thing of, visualization, of making those plays. And I think he does a hell of a job with his preparation and practice. And then when practice is done, he's always getting extra work in, so it's paying dividends.
A lot of the talk league-wide over the last however many years has been quarterbacks playing off schedule. Like, can a guy play off schedule? Do you think it's gotten to the point where maybe people are underrating the importance of playing on schedule?
Yeah. I think there's a balance. I mean, it depends on the guy and how he plays and what his strengths are. I think you could still play within the pocket. I think at the end of the day, you got to be able to throw within the pocket when it's third down and you're dropping back and throwing it. I think you got to play on rhythm and play on time because that's all part of the passing game. But there is that other side to it too, to get out of the pocket and make those big plays with your legs. So obviously you see around the league there's a lot of multiplicity at that position with different teams. And I think the biggest thing is, playing to the strengths of the guy you got.
I believe if the charting is accurate, Daniel was blitzed more than he's ever been blitzed in his career in that game. But you wouldn't know it looking at the box score. What enables a quarterback to thrive against the blitz?
I think understanding what's going on defense, understanding where the pressures are coming from, knowing the timing of when you got to get the ball out, knowing how you're picked up, whether you're going to be hot or not. I think that's a huge part of it, and that's the game. That's the game within the game, and that's studying it and understanding what's going on the other side of the field, so you can play on rhythm and play on time. And I think our line's done a hell of a job, protecting for him these last 2 weeks.
Do you learn more about Daniel in those situations where he can't actually get hit versus training camp where he's got a red jersey on?
Yeah, no doubt. He's a tough player. I think on the one where they had the helmet-to-helmet on him last week, I mean, he popped his lip and he was bleeding on the sideline, but it didn't even faze him. Like, he just here we go. I think he's tough. He stands in there, and delivers the ball with accuracy. He's been doing a hell of a job for us.
Staying with maybe your discipline comment covers it, but all of a sudden you got 2-0 and you got things really going well. You have to kind of keep the players grounded to say you got here because of what you've done.
There's no doubt. The work never stops. That's the message. Like, we can't let up. We got to demand it as coaches. They got to demand it of themselves each and every day we come in this building.
What makes a good contested catcher of the football? Like, why is Alec Pierce good at that? Whether it's deep ball, whether it's the 36, like, he seems to win those battles.
I think when he's running routes and he's down, obviously he's got a great vertical that can go get it. But even then, I think it's just understanding the timing of it and where the defender's at on you and how to use your hands, late hands, could be early hands, but a lot of times late hands, right, so the defender doesn't know. And I think he's done a hell of a job tracking the ball down the field so far this year, and we got to continue that. But I think he does a great job of seeing that stuff.
This weekend, facing the Tennessee Titans, with their having first overall pick in Cam Ward, that task for your defense, what do you recall about being, highly touted first-round pick and the way that defenses maybe attacked you as a rookie?
I guess generally they, you try to pressure a young quarterback. I don't know, Lou's much smarter than I am in terms of that kind of stuff, so I know he'll have a plan for how he wants to handle it. But yeah, I mean, I just remember as a young player, defensive coordinators trying to speed you up. It's a fast game already, and that's what a lot of coaches will do. I think it differs in every situation.
With you guys sitting at 2-0, Shane said that he's really preached discipline. What does that discipline look like kind of in that Monday through Saturday to lead up to produce what you need to on Sunday?
I think it's just not looking too far ahead of where we are in the week or where we are in our process, and making sure we're having the best Wednesday we can have, and focusing on accomplishing what we need to today, and then once we do that, we're focused kind of on Thursday and what's in front of us then. So I think that's the same process we've stuck to this point. That doesn't change for us, and we'll keep doing that.
Darren, you've played a lot of road games in your career. Knowing where you guys are right now, your first one of the season, how much are you embracing this moment to get a chance to go down there and play against the Titans?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed playing on the road. I think, in a hostile environment, and it's kind of your team, and I think there's some part of that brings you closer, and you kind of got to pack together and go in there and get a win. So I've always enjoyed playing on the road. I'm excited for our first opportunity to do that this year.
I'm sorry, Danny, as a quarterback, when you've got a player like Jonathan Taylor, you had Saquon. How does that impact your play and what you guys can do on offense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes a tremendous impact. Have a running back like that who can hit the big one, hit the home run, who can make it happen. Late in the game, that was a huge play for us there in the fourth quarter, and breaks a really long run. He made some plays in the pass game too, but it helps the quarterback a ton.
When you went back and watched the film, what did you see from JT? I'm sure you could feel it in the pass game, but in terms of him in pass protection.
I thought he was really good. Really good. I think, obviously, like we talked about last week, that was an aggressive defense, and they want to, pressure and send guys and force you to pick things up and pass off, games up front, and our guys did a really good job with that, and JT was a big part of it.
Daniel, I know you haven't been here for the past decade, but for years this franchise has been playing catch-up after the first couple of weeks of the season. I know it's a long way to go, but how beneficial is it? How can it be a launching pad when you see where the rest of the division is early on?
Yeah, I don't think we're putting too much into looking at the division at this point. I mean, we're 2 games into the season, and sure, it's good, great to get off to a fast start, but everyone knows there's a lot of football to play, and we know that. So, obviously we'd rather be 2-0, but there's a lot in front of us, and we've got to continue to improve as a team.
I asked Shane what has stood out to him about this team, off to a 2-0 start. He mentioned that the camaraderie of the guys, the togetherness. Do you feel that? Do you sense that among these guys in this locker room?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I think we've got a lot of guys who are bought into what we're doing and want to win more than anything. You know, no one's bigger than that. No one's bigger than the team, and I think you feel that. And you know, we've got to continue to do that. We've got to do that through the week as we prepare this week to play the Titans.
Dave, what do you think it's like the game plan against the targets that you guys have? And then couple that with the fact that you are spreading the ball around as well. You can't hone in on one guy, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think it's a good point. It makes it tough for defenses. You know, I think. Yeah, you look at a lot of offenses across the league, and there's a clear go-to guy, or there's one or two guys where you say, hey, we take this guy out of the game, and it changes what they can do. I think with us, you know, if you do that, it exposes you to some other, you know, 4 or 5 other guys who can make plays. And, you know, I think we've said all along through training camp, I think that's a big-time strength for us.
You mentioned Blue at the Shane has always said he wants to be multiple. Have you gotten the sense that that's a goal of his, is to try to spread that ball around?
I think so, yeah. I think you see it in how we game plan, you know, how we use different guys' skill set. I think, you know, always week to week, depending on what the defense is doing, some defenses may lend more to a certain guy's skill set, but, you know, I think there's definitely an effort to get everyone involved and spread the ball around.
You had mentioned Blue up at the top of here. How has he improved you as a quarterback since you've gotten here in town?
I think just, seeing a lot of different looks and you know, I've been able to you know, ask questions, talk about things like how he sees certain situations, how he wants to play on defense, you know, what things might cause him issues, how he handles, you know, those things. And just, you know, you can learn a lot from a, you know, really good coach like that who's been around for a long time and, you know, has a system like he has that has so many different multiples.
How weird is it that you guys haven't had to punt yet? I mean, has that sort of sunk in yet a couple games in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's good, but we've been stopped. I mean, we haven't converted on some 4th downs, which, you know, have kept us from scoring. So, you know, I mean, yeah, it's great we haven't punted, but we gotta convert those and gotta score, you know, touchdowns in the red zone. So there's plenty to look at that we need to improve in terms of sustaining drives and finishing the touchdowns.
What stands out to you about Alec Pierce as a ball catcher and his ability to kind of make you right on some of those 50-50 balls?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of deep ball guys, it's their speed and being able to get behind the defense, and he has that for sure. You know, he can run past anybody, but he also has the ability to go up and catch, you know, make the contested catch, high point it. He's strong. I think when you put that together, it's a real threat down the field.
You guys have been last really good on first down through the first 2 games. Do you point to anything specifically in line defensively?
I mean, I think just being able to run it and throw it, you know, not, you know, being able to do both, I think keeps the defense on their heels, and the guys up front have done a really good job in the run game and then in the pass game too. Guys are getting open, so I think you can do both. You prepare for those situations, and then yeah, it's important to get the drive off to a good start.
Thank you.
You know, approach it the same as I always do, and know my job from play to play, and you know, whether it is go make a catch or block, you know, for run plays is just what we're gonna do.
Tyler, how much fun are you having right now with this offense? I mean, it seems like every time you guys on the field, you're at least putting 2 points on the board. How much fun are you enjoying it right now?
Yeah, it's fun to have, you know, these type of players that I'm playing with, and just being able to spread the ball around like we have, and letting playmakers make plays. So it's been fun to be a part of that.
What do you think the biggest contributing factor is to sustaining long drives and capitalizing with points at a pretty high clip?
I think staying in manageable downs, so staying on track and not being in 3rd and long. I think we've done a good job, and when we have, you know, Jonathan run the ball like he is, it opens up the pass game and vice versa. So I think we've been pretty balanced, and it helps sustain the long drives.
How much are you looking forward to your first road game here in the NFL? Give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it should be fun. Luckily, we got, you know, the preseason road games to kind of get the first experience out of the way and kind of know what to expect when we're out there. But it'll be a little different, obviously, being a regular season game, so it should be, you know, exciting.
You've been asked to do so much already. How comfortable are you in all the different roles in the playbook and knowing like, hey, I have different assignments on different plays? It could be anything.
Yeah, I think it's not really something I think about in that nature. My bad, sorry. In that nature, it's more just knowing my job on that play, whatever that might look like, and just executing it to the best of my ability.
Great.
So always insightful stuff from Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones, and Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren, not the most talkative guy, but man, can he play football, and that's all that matters here when you're talking about the Indianapolis Colts. And again, mentioning that camaraderie with the team. Daniel Jones talked about it, Shane Steichen talked about it, and you'll hear Zaire Franklin talk about it. And with that, let's transition a bit to this defensive side of the ball with the Indianapolis Colts. Bit of a night and day performance there from Week 1 against the Dolphins to Week 2 against the Broncos. A little looser on the defensive side of the ball. There's no question about that. Didn't get home on the quarterback like they did in Week 1 against the Dolphins, and now it's a road test against the Tennessee Titans. And again, Cam Ward, this Tennessee Titans team is building and rebuilding right now. There's no doubt about that. But a talented guy. He was the #1 pick for a reason. Zaire Franklin said as much. You'll hear in just a second. It's a bounce-back spot for this Colts defense. You heard Shane Steichen say it, but just to reiterate, Charvarius Ward is still in concussion protocol, but he will practice here on Wednesday. And Laiatu Latu, as far as he goes with his hamstring, Shane Steichen saying we'll see how the week goes. So obviously a big loss on the defensive line when it comes to getting after the quarterback, but even still, you wanted to see a little bit more of the same performance from Week 1 in Week 2. You didn't exactly see that, so a good bounce-back opportunity for this defense here in Week 3. Got a chance to hear from Zaire Franklin, among others, in the Colts locker room on the defensive side of the ball.
Getting off to a 2-0 start, you really tried to stay disciplined so you can maintain that level of execution that you have to this point. What does that discipline look like that you have to have throughout the course of the week so that you get the results that you need to have, want to have on Sunday?
I think, Coach Shane's really just framed our entire season, including the offseason, on just focus on getting better every day. So that's just attacking the process. Every week, you have the cycle of a week. Wednesday, obviously, trying to get the first and second down and everything together, and started moving on the third down, the red zone, so on and so forth. So just making sure you're taking advantage of every day. To win a game on Sunday, you got to win on Wednesday first.
So you've had plenty of opportunities to this point in your career, obviously, to play at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
You've also seen a number of rookie quarterbacks. What do you try to do as a defense in particular to exploit a rookie and make him uncomfortable?
Well, obviously, it's still a new experience for him. You got to get the rookies young before they get old and be a big dog. So you definitely got to get your licks in early. But Cam's a talented young player. Obviously, he can make all the throws, athletic. He was the #1 overall pick for a reason. So, it's our job to stop him and keep him off balance.
So you've seen what it's like to it. It can come down to the last game of the season to tell you whether or not you're in the playoffs or out. They all matter. I know it's just the beginning, but many years you're looking up at the standings after Week 1. What kind of launching pad can this be to get out there 2-0 and get a leg up, especially with this division game?
Well, definitely, starting off 2-0 and 2 AFC wins is going to be huge. We've been in that situation before where you look at the end of the season and you're like, man, if we would have won that Week 2 game, it would have been a big deal. But, I think my boy McKinney and the Packers said it best. A lot of teams start off 2-0 and end up not being nothing. So, like I said, we just got to stick to our process, continue to be diligent, and just win this week.
First road game, how much are you embracing this moment here? No more in front of the home crowd, but going on the road now.
I love it. I love being a road dog. I think coming on the road and winning on the road is always an opportunity for the team to grow closer. We already got a huge, close-knit team. So I think it's just another challenge for us, obviously against a talented Tennessee team. So.
See what's working with early, but takeaways, you're getting key takeaways. What's working?
I think it's just guys ready for their moment. In a back-and-forth game like Denver, you're going to have games where, it's high scoring and it's just really about the defense that makes the first play. And we knew that. I was preaching out on the sideline like, hey, look, man, the first defense to make the turnover is going to win the game. And everybody was ready. And Cam Bynum has just been special. No question. He's been making big plays and big moments. And obviously, not only just his energy, but his playmaking has been a big deal for our team and for our defense. So definitely got to kick that up. But, I think guys were just ready for that moment, ready to execute.
You talk about Cam. What does that say about an individual? It can be tough joining a new team, the high expectations coming in, but it seems like this guy has been ready to go since day one, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's, both sides. I think Cam came in with the right mindset, knowing that, A, he had to earn, the trust and, his reputation obviously speaks for itself, but, you're in a new locker room, you got to prove it all over again. And, I think it just speaks to the leadership of the locker room, first with Kenny, with the DBs, and, so on and so forth, even to the other guys on the other side of the ball, just making Cam feel comfortable enough to be himself. I think that's usually the hardest part when you come into a new situation. You want a guy to feel comfortable enough to feel like himself, to be himself. That way he can play the best version of his game. And thankfully he's been able to do that so far.
With Ward, when you see a play like he made last week for that touchdown, like what do you have to be aware of as a defense knowing he has that like shot in his bag?
I mean, I hope he throws that play again. Like, it wasn't a good throw. But, I mean, he's a talented player. So, like I said, he can make all those throws. His arm angle, obviously, is exceptional. He's got a zip in the ball. Like I said, he's a number 1 overall pick for a reason. I was a fan of him when he was in college. But, when you got a guy like that that's able to make plays, you just got to make sure you stay on your assignments. But hopefully he throws the ball again.
When you see your offense go out there and they're having long possessions and capitalizing, and they're not going 3 and out, how beneficial is it as a defense to be on that sideline and not having to rush back out there right away?
Man, it's great. I mean, it lets you be more opportunistic, You're willing to take your chance, willing to take a shot, because you're rested. Defense, our offense controlling the clock. I've been on the other side of that. That's not fun. But then also, too, when you got offense that's putting points up, they got your back. So it's, disheartening it was sometimes on Sundays, letting up long drives or giving up a big play, knowing that our offense was capable of having our back, just makes us want to keep going and keep making plays.
I asked Shane, what has stood out to him about this team being 2-0. And he didn't say the offense, he said defense, but he talked about just the camaraderie of this team and just the togetherness. You've been a veteran player. Do you sense that in this locker room this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think for myself personally, that was really one of my biggest goals. Just coming off of last year, I just felt like, not even to continue to even talk about last year, but I just felt like we had some cracks in the cup, So just coming in this year was just a big deal for, myself and other leaders to make sure that we were, all one band, one sound. Everybody moving together, whether that was getting together outside of the building or, just making sure we sticking together on the field. I think this team has, shown that we've been growing together. We just got to keep that going. I think a big road win in the division would be big for us.
What do you think is the next step for the run defense for you all? Obviously, I know the numbers probably don't want to get as high as they've been for the first game. What's the next step to, I guess, ensure that I'm good?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to be cleaner in our run fits, in our communication. Obviously, it's room for improvement. I think this is a little skewed, but like I said, I think we could be better. Obviously, there's a lot of things on this defense that we got to clean up. Like I mentioned before, we still haven't reached that peak yet. So I think run defense is one of those things we definitely want to be better at.
Attack this week, then after that week, attack the next week. So just one week at a time.
You handled your business at home, but now let's take the show on the road. Old rivals. What's your memories of playing in Nashville and what that experience is like down there?
Oh man, it's great atmosphere down there. I like playing in the heat, so I heard it's gonna be hot down there. But the show don't stop, man. We're gonna do it at home and we're gonna do it away. So
when you see a rookie quarterback, do you start licking your chops? Do you know, like, hey, this guy's talented, but he's got a lot to learn?
Oh yeah, try to get after him early, make him mess up, and be on him. So.
How much of Bynum's 2 picks so far is yours? Because you were in the quarterback's face, made him float it.
I'd say both of them. Hey, but he the one catching it, so
yeah.
I'll give him to him. But
they
we work hand in hand.
An assist stat or something to get you,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was talking to Zaire about this. When you have your offense is holding the ball, they're not going 3 and out. How does that make you be refreshed and ready when you're called upon? You come out there and you're not just going right back on the field time and time again.
I mean, man, as long as I get some rest, man, I'm going to go out there, show out, and, as long as they keeping it and, moving the ball, scoring and stuff like that, getting the defense, great time to rest up and, be fresh out there.
Good. All right. Colts and Titans Sunday, 1 o'clock in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll see if the Colts can be 3-0 and really get the season off to a good start and get that first division win. What a springboard that would be to start this season 3-0. After coming into the season, quite pessimistic was this fan base. Poll by The Athletic saying 93% to be exact of fans pessimistic about where this franchise was trending. But hey, we all like being surprised, right? This Colts team looking competent and really solid. It doesn't feel fluky, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll see if Daniel Jones and company can keep this train a-moving and get a win over what seems to be, early on in the season, an inferior Tennessee Titans team. On the road, albeit for the first time this season. 13 Sports will be there. We'll bring you the action on WTHR on air and on WTHR Plus online. everywhere you look, we'll be here giving you all the Indianapolis Colts coverage you could ever ask for. So keep it locked on 13 for all your Colts coverage, and we'll see you Sunday for Colts-Titans, see if they can go 3-0. For now, here at the Colts Complex, Dominic Miranda, 13 Sports.